Hello and welcome back, guys. Okay, so let's proceed here. Now, we have a date here, but it's not very human readable. So we can do something about that. And also here we have our contents showing the tags in here. So if you don't want these tags to show like this, you can the reason why these are showing like this is because they are escaped. This means that Laravel is adding in our blade template here. Once we use these brackets, it's automatically adding the PHP HTML entities or HTML special chars to make sure that in case there's JavaScript in here, it doesn't run. But because you'll be the only one posting content to your page, you don't need to worry about escaping characters like this unless you have other people that you think might try to hack your system. Then you may want to escape those characters like that. So to show you the difference is that if I remove these brackets here and put the question mark and equal sign instead like that, and then close the PHP tags like so, I will get a non escaped version of this. So you see these break tags and paragraphs here. If I now refresh, you see that those are gone. So the only problem with this is if there's any JavaScript or it's somebody else that is able to post. Let me put it this way. You should only use this if you trust anyone that you have restricted access to posting content here. If you've allowed posting content to the general public, then you absolutely should never do this. Okay, because somebody can put JavaScript in there and they can delete your entire database just from that. Okay, so make sure if this is a public thing, put those curly braces there instead. But if you just want to see a clean version like this, leave it like that. Okay, so that's that. And let's add a add post button there. Oh, before we go there, let's change that date real quick here. So let me go to the date itself. We are right here. It's easy to change the date. Let's just add the date function, and then let's put out a string that we want. So small letter J, capital S, capital M, comma, capital Y, then close those brackets, put a comma, and then put the function string to time. So strto and then time. Put a bracket. So put the whole date in that bracket. So we need a second bracket because we have another one here. So hopefully this is clear what we've done here. But the result of that is that we will have a human readable date instead of this. So that's much better. Okay. This one is writing 1st January 1970. That's because there's absolutely no date in there. We've given it a value of no. And so what it does is it returns the very first date of all computers, which is 1st January 1970. Okay, so from here, let's add a button here for the add post so that we can easily go there rather than going into the rather than clicking in the URL, sorry. So let's add a button here like this, and then we're just going to say add post like that, and then let's add some font or some icon here. We just add a simple icon. So you use the I tag like so, and then let's put a class name FA plus, because that's the plus sign I want. Let me leave a space there. Let's see how that looks like. Refresh. Okay, there we have a button there. I want it to go this way. This is an old version of Bootstrap, so some things they just don't work. So the problem is if you try to upgrade the Bootstrap, then you may end up destroying the layout. So if you're watching this in the future, find a better template that you can use that has the latest Bootstrap and so on. or if that's a problem, just use normal styling to do your stuff. So like here, I'm just going to tell it to float to the right like this. Just use normal styling. That way you don't have to suffer. So class, and then I'm going to say button. I want that button class and button primary as well. Surely these ones will work. And then I want it a bit small, so I'll say button small, like so. Okay, that should do it. So refresh, and there we go. So we have a button there, nice and easy. Then let's add some link to the correct place. So let's add an A tag here, and this is going to link to, let's look at it here. That's admin posts and then add. So I just want to add oh, for a moment there I almost put base URL because I'm used to Codeigniter. So URL like this, and then let's put the admin slash and posts, yes, add like that. Okay, so that's how we do it. And then the closing tag, let's move it over here like so. Very nice. So now we have a button that we can click to go to the add post section, and when we click back on posts, we are back here. You can put a button here as well if you want, just to go back to posts if you want, but you can always click here, no problem. Okay, so now we are able to add a post, but what about editing? Now in the editing and adding are very similar. The only difference is that editing comes with the data in here, and you just need to edit it a little bit. So what we will do instead of is to finish with the add new post. Once we finish with that, then we can just copy everything and take that to the edit, which will make things very, very easy to deal with. So one more thing we have to fix here, if I click post, this is how the errors look like. So that's not proper. So let's go to where we have errors here. That's the add_post.blade.php, and this section with errors, let's just add a div. So add a div here. Let's move this over here. Yeah, something like this. And then let's add class. I forget the class, it's alert. Yes, alert. And then alert danger. Like that. And then let's center the text center, like so. Okay, that should do it. So now instead of that, when I click post, this is what I get. So at least it looks more like it's dangerous or something. Okay, so we have all those errors. Now always keep in mind that you can always retrieve these errors directly through this. You can get a very specific error as shown earlier in the series and put them below here if you wanted to, so that they show up under the actual item that has the error. But this will do just fine for our purposes. Okay, so now that we are here, now that we are here on new post, everything is working fine. We can shift this to edit post. Okay, so easy peasy. We just have to copy everything that's here, move it over. So we need to have the edit page though. So at the posts there, if I type edit like so, okay, so undefined variable row, it's complaining here, so which means it's working posts.blade.php. So it's opening the wrong Blade template. So let's go to the admin controller and look at what's happening on the edit. So here it's opening admin posts. So inside the admin folder, posts. So that shouldn't be the one that it's opening. We should have one that says edit_post. Just like we have one on add post, we can have one on edit post, like so. Yep. And then let's go and make sure that we do have a template like that. So add post here is the one we want to copy. So let's select that, copy everything from here, right click on the admin folder, new file, paste in there, save this file as, let's copy the add format here and just change that to eardit and save. Yes, very cool. Now if we refresh, we should get something more tangible. Oh, looky there, we have this bar even though we have no errors. That was a mistake on my part. What I'm supposedly supposed to do is to check if we actually have errors. Yes. So errors all contains all the errors in here. So let's see here if we can add an if statement. So say if errors O, like this, let's copy that and put that on end if, like that. So let's change that to an if statement. If errors O, let's do that. So let's see here, refresh. Okay, we have that, and let's post, and we don't get anything. Okay, so let's do count. Let's see if that works. There should be a way to check if there are errors here, but I've just forgotten. An easier way, I mean. If count is greater than 0, let's see if that works at all. Resend. Okay. Nothing. We get nothing. Okay. The one way to figure this thing out is to do this. Let's check what's inside errors or at this point. So let's use some PHP tags instead. PHP and then print like so. So this is what you do when you have no idea, no clue how to figure that out. So let's just check and see what exactly it has. So at this point I'll just load this, and it's an empty array. Okay, that makes sense. But if I hit post now, it's still an empty array. Oh, so it was working the whole time. It's just that there were no errors actually. So let me undo here. I was on the right track. I doubted myself. Very bad. So let me copy this and put the same thing on the add post right here. Replace the whole thing here. Paste like so. So let's go to the add post where there actually is some PHP to process and tell us there are errors, and see if it works. Okay, there it is. So it's working just fine. Okay, so back to eardit posts. Okay, now there's one more thing missing on the edit post here, and we need to have a URL address to this post so that we know what post to retrieve when we are doing all this. So if I go to my table now and go to posts, I want to see what the unique identifier is for a post, and in our case it's hardly ever it's actually the ID. Look at that. Okay, so we'll grab it by the ID. Very interesting. We'll grab it by the ID. So let me go to, where is this? Edit. We have an ID of 1 here, so we're going to use that as a test. So posts eardit and then /1 at the end, like so. Okay, so not found. Who knew? Yeah. So whenever you get that not found, you know that there's no route to that place. So we just have to go to our routes web API, or routes web.php, and then let's come back here and see what we are supposed to. So on the get variable, we have admin posts, and then we have admin posts type. Now we need to go a step further. We need both of these again. Do that, and they all go to the same place. Now posts, there's a type, and then there is an ID. Oops, what am I doing? ID, like so. Okay, so that also should lead to the same place. So let's refresh again, and here we are. And then now if I go to my admin controller, I should be able to get another value here. So we have type, and then we have ID. So ID could be equal to empty as well, like that. So type and ID. Now to confirm that we do have an ID and a type right here on the edit, let's try and echo these bad boys and see what they've got. So let me just use a var dump and say type. Of course the type is working because we're in the edit here, so let's just check for the ID right there. So refresh. Now I can hardly see anything, so let me remove the view itself, and so that I can just see a number. So I have 1 there, which is right there. If I change that to 3, you see that I have a 3. Okay, that is good. Now we can use this information to retrieve what we want. Now let's reuse this code here, right there. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here, like so. Okay, so now we have a post class. So if we will be using this multiple times, we can just put it at the top here, but I think we're only using it here, so let's leave it be. Now row, it's not rows but row is going to be equal to post. Now we don't want to get everything, we just want to get 1, so we just say find ID, like that. Okay, so if everything went well, we'll have a row in there. And then there are multiple things here to add, so let's make it more human readable, shall we? Like this, and then put a comma, like so. Duplicate this, so there's a page title there, there's also row, and what are we putting in row? We're putting an actual row variable, like so. Okay, so we are retrieving the data from here and then sending it into our view. So back in the view, here, let's see if we actually have some kind of result. Yes. So yes, let's see here. I've actually never tried to do something like this, to echo out a non-string. Oh, it actually works, look at that. So here we have our post is being delivered as intended. So the only thing we have to do is add the relevant stuff here. So what I don't know here is whether this is bringing in a an object or an array, but wait a minute, let me go to the model. That's the posts model. Wow, okay, we have none of that. Okay, so here I just need to replace the values. So like for example in the input here we have old. Now this is going to be a bit of a paradox. How we do this? Okay, so we have to remove old for now. We'll get back to it a little bit later. We want to put what's inside the row. So here it's going to be row and let's see, row title. Let's see if that gives me an error. It didn't. So there we have the title, and then we have post category here. So we have that issue again. popping up here where we need the category name itself. Okay, so in this case we can actually use the one-to-many thing that I was talking about there. So how we're going to do that is like this. Let's do that real quick, but let me put the content here first as well. So back here I'm going to copy this, and let's come to our content right here, paste that and write content. Okay, refresh. Okay, so we have the content there. Our featured image here, we'll just have to display something at the bottom here instead of having it to, we are not putting it in the control itself, we just have to add an image tag over here. So image, the source is going to be the row, and this is row image like that, and then let's add a bit of a style. We'll say width, I don't know, 200 pixels. Let's see if that doesn't disturb things too much. Okay, there we go. And I forgot to use URL as usual. Wait, public, where are the images? Uploads, and then image there. Okay, so let's see if that works by itself. URL. No, it does not, so we need the assets. Oh wait, uploads slash, and then let's concatenate. Let's put the brackets there, add to it. Let's see what we got. Okay, finally we have something. Okay, so there we go. So we have our image there. You can design this in any way that you want. I just want to illustrate the points here. So we have a title, we have the image. We're not putting it here because we want to give the user an opportunity to add a new one. And then we have a category here, so, and everything there. So if we say save, so instead of post, this should say save, then it should work, right? All right, so we're going to end here for now, because in the next video I want us to look at how we can retrieve this category while using this method instead of having to write a query like this. So maybe you're not the type that likes queries, you may want to use that. So this is the perfect place to do that one-to-many relationship. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.